Hello there and welcome to episode 14 of the final Sect. Today I will help Shi to reach her golden core breakthrough one way or another. I still haven't fully understood how things are working with this Talisman breakthrough thing going on with her. I'm recording episode 13 and 14 back to back, so if the wise counsel of the comment section has already spoken, I have to react to these comments a little bit delayed. That being said, today we are going to expand our empire of agencies further and further, and I want to try and check out if I can get the location of the Earth Flux finding spot anytime soon. We're also going to think about which cultivator to pick up or inner disciple to be a metal and a earth cultivator respectively, because last episode I happened to remember that if you want to collect everything out there on the map, you will have to have all elements of cultivators available as well, because otherwise things just don't work. So my animals are freezing this winter. I don't give a about that, because, you know, it is just as it is. Sadly, this guy is starting to die, and I cannot accept him. This is really sad. I wanted to keep this guy because he was actually grade A abbot material, but I'm sending him away, so he's not dying. No way. Alright, so whatever. Alright. We were searching through some cultivator residents, but I didn't find anything. I'm very careful while exploring the Exultant Isle, because, you know, these guys are baddies. So let's have the breakthrough there, and we get to draw yet another talisman. I wonder if she is going to go and, you know, have the effects of all these on herself. If so, it would be amazing, and I should really consider giving her the ability to learn a couple of extra manuals before I do so. I have decided that I'm going to try that, and in case you're wondering, I actually have done that on purpose to record these two episodes back to back, because I love to explore through this stuff, and I know you guys know your way around these things very well, and therefore when I read all these things, I think I'll get a couple of really good explanations. And for me, it's always fun to fiddle around with it for the first time, do it horribly wrong, and then rebirth the guy and do it good again. I love to do it wrong at least once to document it to all the people that are new here and haven't done that either, just like me. It's always good to have something done for the first time without all the spoilers, at least for me. Don't know how you guys are ticking. So, water talisman face. I would assume that we get to nail down yet another talisman into ourselves now. Therefore, well, I really want to check on out if I can get me some inspiration somewhere. There's 10 grand lying around here. I mean, my other agencies are, by now, starting to rack up followers as well. Since we have continuous welfare running, there's also a continuous growth of people here, so that's all in all pretty good, but I don't see me capable of racking up 20 grand that quickly. I mean, then again, let's just check if there's a third talisman that I like to have, because the other one that I picked up, the one with the G absorption, is pretty good actually, but there are really badass talismans in the game, and it seems as if I can apply a layer of talismans on this cultivator herself. Wild stuff, I tell you. Okay, 28 grand, not bad. So let's wait until her chi has fully recovered, and then we go and try it again. Chi pools are deepening, and therefore, well, we are ought to learn soon new ways of, how to put it, to regenerate more quickly. Yeah, just like I thought. So move speed. These resistances, they aren't too interesting. Speed during adventures. Well, that would be absolutely useful. For sure. Well, it seems as if I can apply these several times. Yeah, spiritual traveling, we had that already. Huh. Well, then let's do it twice. Let's see what that does. Don't know if it's that wild. Okay. Sure thing, she. My goodness, she's going to be fast. If that's going to be stats applied on her, this law is wild. Alright, so do not visit the mountains of Exalted Sect. This is such a nasty trap when you're playing Immortal mode. Because when you're visiting the good sects, it's okay, you can say hi to them and you can build up relationships. But ever since I have lost one of my main characters this way by pressing the wrong button once, I am very careful. So, very much relatably so, I guess. Alright, that's really fun. We could eat some Spirit Stone if we'd like to speed up the process here. In case you are impatient, by the way. Cultivators can eat all manner of things. As long as there's chi in it, I guess. So, I haven't opened the auction invitation, by the way, on purpose. Because currently we aren't really racking in big money yet. And I hate having the auction running without money. We still are in the preparation phase here in the sect, and I still want to fortify my adventuring pool, you know, before we go for these things in a bigger way. Charity event! Bam. Love it. That's also the reason why we need that Spirit Stone agency, because we do happen to need quite a lot of these quite regularly. So there's a lot of dung lying around, in case you were wondering, and that stuff, well, you can use it to create vernal soil if you want to, but I currently don't. Oh, we have successfully harvested our first dosage of red ginseng. Hell yeah, that's nice. Alright. So let's see. We are now, well, there's the tag core forming on it. So I would assume that we are now going for the golden core breakthrough next. Passerby. What up, man? Oh boy. Get away from me. I don't like people like you. No soliciting. We are picky, you know. And the Great Desert has been completed. So yeah. Wait a sec. We gotta check on out. So... Oh. Well, that's interesting. So, turns out for Shi'i, this golden core breakthrough, it's quite unusual. Usually, weather, yin-yang, season, and element play a big role in these golden core breakthroughs. This kind of like makes this law a bit harder to get a high-grade golden core, because you don't have access to the usual multipliers. Usually, you can do lots of little tricks to get the job done. I don't have access to a lot of these tricks here, but look at that. We're getting ourselves almost a tier 6. Not bad. So if I would have taken a little bit more effort, like picking up a little bit more stuff, I sure would have gotten her on grade 6, but it doesn't matter that much. The most important question to me is, are you that crazy fast now, as I would assume that you are? See, that's all really happening on her. Well, let's give it a try. I mean, we're going to notice. Let's go for Mount Kunlun. That's really far away. button, I'm sorry. So, Nian Shuang, 1.9 days. Alright, I had no clue. This is really a sick power move, I gotta remember that. And I didn't use it to its fullest potential. I could have done that 3 times if I'd wanted to. Crazy. Why do these people hate me? Didn't I already buy Passage with you guys? Favor. They hate me. Oh no. Must have been because of the bland reception they got. So we have to change that in the future. Cultivators will visit us quite often, and what happened there is the result of me not having a proper residence for my visitors. Let's change that. After we've taken care of the attackers. I really want to get this dying chamber for harvesting Angus soul gems together, but I keep forgetting that, and every time I think about it, I have some other pressing matters on my mind. That's a typical thing with this game. After a while, you have so many little things that you're micromanaging. It's quite wonderful. Okay, so we're going to give guests a little residence here by the spirit soil. I think that's actually quite luxurious. I hope nobody will be unhappy about that. So let's use spirit wood. I just love that stuff. And put in a bed. A couple of decorations. This ought to be a really neat and nice room. Some leisure instruments. Probably 2. But most importantly, let's put a table here too. Put that down here. Most importantly, we have to configure it in a way that outers are not going to use that. And we're going to put a couple of displays up here. So I hope that this will suffice as a somewhat okay residence. We're going to put something with chi gathering capabilities there, because visiting cultivators tend to cultivate on their beds, and giving them some chi in their vicinity, I guess it makes them happy. I honestly have no clue, but I think I wanted to give it a try. So, after all these distractions are over, we have now the fastest exploration cultivator in this that I ever had, and we can tweak that even further. I'm very, very happy about that one. So we're going to adventure on over to Mount Shu. 0.28 days. This is really as good as it can possibly get. I really, really like this. This was a good decision. Okay, we're 1 person short, so let's invest some points there into some new joiners. We're currently slowly racking up reputation. I keep this on a slow burn on purpose because you will only attract more powerful enemies, and you don't need to do that. You will not really profit from that. So yeah, that's my idea behind that. So what's that doing? Oh god, I need to read that off camera. These rituals, sometimes their wording is so complicated that I cannot understand it if I am currently recording. I really need to squeeze my eyes and to keep my brain juices working hard to understand that without being distracted. This is something where I feel like the wording of the game could be really improved on, because it's unnecessarily complicated. You could really condense what's happening in that text box into less words. Oh, well. Good. So, next step. Wait a sec, why is this... Did I have 2 Yi-Yis? I thought I sent you to the... agency here. I'm weirded out by that. Anywho, we're going to give ourselves some new cultivators. And since we have now nobody working towards enlightenment now, let's see who we're going to pick up. So this fine lady here looks like a solid pick as well. My main issue right now is that the sect is featuring less and less slots, so... Enjoying Immortal Realm, for example, I'll do it once here, does increase the sect's reputation. This is one of the typical actions that you can pick up if you want to have a increase in your sect's reputation. I did that now once, but I won't do it again. So quickly, I think Raju will be the one that I'll pick up first. I mean, I am breaking a little bit with my good ideas in the first place, but that was before I realized that Central Plains merchants. That was before I realized that I need different elements to actually be able to gather the materials to make other people more powerful. Or I think I am procrastinating in the wrong way if I would do it like this. So that means we need a new smith. I am very sad that Young K will do this for a while and then drop out of the job again as well, but whatever. So Raju will now be excluded from all tasks because she's going to be cultivating. Probably I don't need to do all that because we probably have already enough things that she can munch down to get her foundation done, but we'll see about that. It's always one of my favorite parts when your sect is growing more powerful and it's going more and more easy to get people into their inner disciplehood. And you're just like, yeah, let me get something from the herb shelf. So you're going to consume this, this, and this, and then we're it's fun. So let's see. The Ganoderma, I think it's too early for that, or can mortals eat that as well? So can significantly boost their foundation training process. Yes. So we're going to eat that as well. And the red ginseng as well. This is the fine thing about spirit soil. You can grow these things yourself. You don't have to gather them via adventuring. It's really, really good stuff. So here we go. You always got to be careful, though. Don't give them too much of the good stuff at once. They might explode. Always one drug at a time, you know? And also, this is the thing, bloating. You cannot give them too much food at once, you know? Was already a little bit worried about that. It's also worth noting that stuff like these animal parts have a much higher or lower threshold, however you want to see it. Either way, you can eat much more of that stuff before diminishing returns kick in and make your life harder. Either way, we are going to wait until her bloated belly is gone, and then we're going to give her the inner disciplehood. We'll gotta have a couple of rebirths here, but that doesn't matter too much. It's much more effective to have a swarm of intermediate golden core cultivators and bit by bit upgrade them into tier 1s. Your sect will grow much faster rather than when you're procrastinating the initiation of these guys. I've been there, I've done that, and I really cannot stress it out enough that this is really the best way to do it. Here, I'm taking it very slowly. I could have done it much faster. Actually, it was a little bit of a brain fart move of mine, because I forgot about the fact that we need different elements to get all this stuff into our possession. But, you know, it doesn't matter that much. After all, this is a game where you can take your time. The only things that you will take care about is the dragon attacking your sect at some point, and yeah, that's about that. So I cannot remember, but I think the metal cultivator was the one that I wanted to have first because of gathering issues, but Sunflower and Grand Chariot are... Yeah, well, let's pick up Sunflower. She's such a good match to that one. It would be a waste. And I know that Grand Chariot is a very is a law that you can accustom yourself quite easily to. Let's do this. Sunflower refining. So, there we go. Wait a sec, this was one with tribulation during core shaping. Well, that's okay. We should have all the necessary tools to for the survival. The thing is, if you have to face a tribulation, what you need is a lot of chi and a bit of barrier. And this tribulation there is actually a mini tribulation. Oh, wonderful! Ignea copper and ice crystal. That's the stuff that we come for Mount Shu. These are the rare materials from Mount Shu that are very, very important for us. Okay, so we are going to give this fine young lady a new place to be at. So, earth cultivators like it warm and hot. Fire items are really hard to acquire. I really cannot remember anything except for Igneo Copper and Fire Essence bars. I think there was something in between, but all in all, it's a bit of a pain to get this done right, because the acquisition of these materials is quite painful. But whatever, we're going to get through this. And oh, look at this beautiful little thing. So here it is important that only inners are now allowed to interact with these things. This is mostly because we don't want the furniture here accidentally assigned to the wrong people. And, of course, we need to place some stuff there as well. So quite good that we got ourselves the Igneo Copper things. So we can and should configure this one here. So we want metals of fire element in here. That should work. So, where's the furnace? There's the furnace. I hope that won't be any issue. So, if I remember correctly, Igneo Copper ore doesn't have any chi capacities. I need to do it at least once to convince myself again of that fact, but I think that was the case. So, Blue Lotus Temple, we can curry favors with these guys easily. Just need to take care that I'm not accidentally sending Yin Ji into the into his sure demise. Okay, so there's going to be the next cultivation array incoming. I might have by now racked up a lot of blueprints for these, but I personally find a fulfilling moment whenever I set up a new cultivation array. I really find that extremely happiness-inducing. Don't know why. So I just wanted to point out that if you want a power game ACS, you can create cultivation arrays that are much more potent than mine by using a couple of tricks that I personally never did. If you are interested in that, you should look in YouTube for the word Chi Burst in terms of cultivation. Basically, I want to explain it real quick for those who are interested in the principle. I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that when you topple something off of a display here, then the item loses its chi and needs to be put on top again and needs to recharge 5 days again. The fun part about that is when it gets toppled down, it releases the chi into the ambience. So basically the stuff is still lingering around. This way I have heard that you can accumulate stupidly high amounts of residual chi in the environment, which you can use to achieve much more powerful golden core breakthroughs. As far as I know, this is the most powerful way to get golden core breakthroughs, but it is a little bit cheesy and very, very micromanagement intense. Sorry, all these wounded people were distracting me for a second. I'm notorious for ignoring the needs of my animals, by the way. So I managed to make a auspicious place out of that. We're going to build this chamber quite soon, promise. So exultant sect people, I want to ignore them and hurry off. I know that there are certain triggers and circumstances where you can actually afford talking to them, but I don't want to dare. I'm not missing out much either. If you want to do diplomacy with these guys, as far as I remember, the most effective ways of increasing favor with other sects is build them a nice hotel and invite them to stay a while at your sect and treat them well. This way you can increase favor the most reliable way. That's at least the way that I know. Feel free, dear comment section, to let me know what you know, because I know that you guys know. So, traders in town. That's always a wonderful time. Let's see what we can sell. These lightning storms, they are so piercingly loud. So, material items are worthless. Oh gosh, I hate it when they do that to me. But the good part is gear items can be sold. I love selling gear items because this is basically all loot from the stupid people that are attacking me constantly. We're getting to empty out our storages while getting a nice amount of spirit stone out of that. Another nice thing that I like to do in the previous times and still like to do until today is to transform these into artifacts, because, you know, that's just pretty cool way of dealing with these things too. So we cannot sell anything material-wise, which is actually a shame. We have so many furs and such things that, yeah, well, there's not this time. Not this time. We could sell, though, a couple of these firecrackers, because as a matter of fact, if you have one of them, you have enough of them. So, because you always get a new one out of the festival chest. So, well, 1 grand, not bad, not good either. But let's see, there's a gnarled vine in there. We're slowly reaching the point where we can consider getting ourselves things like that. So you can consume the soul for power, but at the cost of karma. Oh, interesting. This is mod content as far as I know. Sadly, we don't have a readout if something is modded, but pure good karma. I think this is something that that I would have known about. So, well, these things are way beyond my wallet. I am not as rich as I'd like to be. As a matter of fact, it is really... You can consider yourself as really rich once your spirit stones go in the 100,000s. But before that, there's really a lot of stuff which drains your money quite quickly. So that's why we got this place set up now. Alright, seems like the lightning storm finally went away. And there's chicken on the table. I mean, these animals joined me on their own volition, and I've never asked for them, so I don't mind if they just go away like that. Okay, so let's see. The igneocopper should have been stored in here. So igneocopper ore, and shouldn't we have... Yeah, here. So here's the thing. Igneocopper bars don't do nothing. They don't have a chi gathering quality. We would need fire essence bars. That's how I always did it in the past, and I think that's how I'm going to do it this time as well. If you know what I could do alternatively, I think there is dragon's blood or something like that lying around, and wyvern's pool that I could get. I have a vague impression that I'm missing out on something. But, you know, beast blood is also nothing that you can use, sadly. But whatever, we are going to get through this, and I also need goldwood. So, if I remember correctly, goldwood was something we could buy from Mount Tiger Paw as well. But do they like me already enough for that? So yeah, we can. Not currently interested, but I wanted to have that on the back of my mind when I need it. So, good times now for us. I think we're going to do what we're always going to do. Since she's an earth cultivator, we cannot use wood power, so spirit wood is an absolute no-no here. Check this out. This would be really annoying her. So instead, we're going to use the rock essences that we got. These are not exactly what we want to have, but it ain't that much of a big deal. So this is range 3, so we can go for these. And I cannot remember if I can go for any of these with a range 3 item, or if this only is good on range 4, but I think I can only use it with range 4. Here now we can, though, as far as I remember, please correct me where I stand wrong, get ourselves Spirit Wood up and running again, because it's that far away that the elemental charge of the stuff doesn't bother the cultivator anymore. I think it was working like that. Again, the almighty comment section may be so kind to correct me if there's anything wrong about that, but I think it was working down like that. So, meanwhile, we're going to use the burst of Spirit Wood in our area. I mean, you could also keep those Spirit Wood trees. They can be used as cultivation spots. It's an amazing thing. So it's a little bit savage of me, actually, to cut them all down. This game has a lot of usages for a lot of things, and therefore, well, it is as it is. So the fine lady here can cultivate quite soon, I think. So hopefully she will be able to gather the materials that we require. I will drop the ball here. I think we need to craft ourselves a artifact for her, because, you know, never have your cultivators without artifacts for a longer period of time. It'll make them really unhappy. And yeah, let's see what we're going to experience in the next episode. I hope I will get her cultivated quite quickly. Then we need to get ourselves a metal cultivator going, and then we finally have all the most important things. We're missing out on a water cultivator there, but that's going to be a pretty lengthy process, because water cultivators need metal chi, and that is a nightmare story to achieve. Lumina cores are among the most easily acquirable things that provide this stuff, and that's the horrible thing there. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. I thank you for watching. Drop me your comments down below. I'd appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription if you haven't done so already. I'd be delighted if you'd join. Apart from that, check out my secondary Let's Play channel. It needs 1,000 subscribers. Link is in the topmost comment down there, and once it's there, I'll be publishing way more Let's Play content than ever there, so can't wait. And that all being said, thanks for hanging out until the very end. I appreciate you guys a lot, and I hope that you're going to tune in for the next episode. See you there.